New month, the month of May. Woo. We here. Good morning, Bridge Nation. My name is Richie B. All right. We have arrived at the month of May already. A bit unbelievable. Yeah. Trust me. But we are here. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. What else? May you find comfort. May you have strength. May you have courage. May you find healing. But that's not all. May you have peace. May you have joy. And may you be filled with loving kindness. So a lot of people are asking me how much I know about this imminent, it seems, cabinet reshuffle. I don't know why so many people seem to think that I'm supposed to know, right? The truth is, I don't have a lot of information, but I'm going to share with you as much as I have because it is being felt and being said, even if not felt, that the Prime Minister, round about the middle of the term, might want to sort of refresh his cabinet somewhat and make some changes in the executive as well. And I think the speculation right now is at a very high level that this is going to take place and possibly in the very, very near future. What I do know so far is what I'll share with you right now. First off, I'm hearing that Junior Foreign Minister Leslie Campbell, he apparently has been asked to give up his seat in the Senate and instead to take up a diplomatic post overseas. Now, I can also share with you the possibilities that were thrown out to him. One of which is he was offered the High Commissioner post in the United Kingdom. And he was also offered a similar position in Germany. But here's the problem. These are my words, but from what we're hearing, he was like, no can do, not interested. So that puts another problem there for the Prime Minister to solve. It seems to me that the Prime Minister wants to get maybe one or two other persons in the Senate. Now, I don't know who those persons are. I am certainly not one of them. Audley, are you? No. Kevin? No, none of us here. So we don't know who he wants to get in the Senate if that is really the case. But Senator Dr. Sophia Longmore has also been offered a position to go over to Belgium, in that equivalent position like a High Commissioner or whatever the correct title is. Do remember that the Prime Minister has no power to remove a senator. So he basically has to get their cooperation going forward. So if Minister Leslie Campbell is not accepting those other positions and is not prepared to leave the Senate, it means that the Prime Minister still has a problem to solve. I'm also, I can confirm that Ambassador Alison Stone Roof will in fact start today her new duties as permanent secretary in the Ministry of National Security. But if you ask me, as you have been asking, so what about the Minister of National Security, Dr. Harris Chang? Well, here's what I can tell you. I know not where he will end up. Will he retain that ministerial position or will he be removed in the cabinet reshuffle? I cannot tell you. We also want to say what we know here is that Audrey Sewell is being tipped to become the next cabinet secretary. You remember that it is fair to say the Prime Minister's choice, former head of the JDF, Rocky Mead, there was an attempt to have him appointed, but you remember that went down with the opposition, that they were not in league with that, and so that was called off, or he basically refused. But I think it is now clear that Audrey Sewell is to become the next cabinet secretary. Now, as far as the other ministerial positions are concerned, let me just tell you what I've been able to pick up so far. Floyd Green, what I have, I don't know, you have some connections to, I don't know if it's different from what you have. but I understand that he could possibly be leaving the office of the Prime Minister. Where will he end up? I'm going to tell you. There's strong speculation and high possibility or even probability that he could end up, you ready?
Let's hear it.
At the Ministry of Transport and Mining.
Wow.
That is the information that I have so far. No, I could be wrong, but that is what I'm hearing from my internal sources within the JLP. Now, a good friend of mine, Minister Colonel Charles Jr., we had him on just recently. How do I put this now? I'm trying to find the best way to say it. All right, so here's how I'm going to say it. Right, there is talk that Colonel Charles Jr. Might, that's the operative word, might leave the Agriculture and Fisheries Ministry. Now, if he's going to leave the Agriculture and Fisheries Ministry, then the obvious question is, where will he go?
Yeah.
You want to know?
I'm waiting for that.
I don't know. Okay. Can I move on?
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Let's go. Now, as for the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, it is strongly believed that it could see a new head. But then the question, obviously, is going to be, where would Minister Carl Samuda end up? No pun intended. All right. Where could he end up? I don't know. Not yet known. And questions like, will Dr. Christopher Tufton remain at the Ministry of Health? For persons have been asking me, I don't know. Will the Prime Minister's wife, MP Juliet Holness, finally be given a ministry? I don't know all of that. So what I've shared with you is, what we're hearing and so on. I don't have a whole lot of information, as I said at the very top, but it is believed that the Prime Minister might want to do a little bit of shaking up middle of the term, and especially bearing in mind what the poll results were recently, which suggested that the People's National Party would have made some strides, and at the time of the poll could possibly edge out the government were there to be an election called. So the Prime Minister might want to freshen up the cabinet a little bit and make some changes that he hopes will help him to be in better stead with the populace going forward towards the next general election. So only time will tell, and as we go along, and as much information as we have, Bridge Nation, you know that we will share it with you. It's a very important segment, and some very important guests are with us in the studio at this time, and we're very pleased to have them as well. Apostle Professor J. Andrew Scott, President and founder of Greater Works International Fellowship. He's in the building. Good to meet you, Apostle Professor Andrew Scott. How are you, sir?
I am great, sir, and thanks for having us here today.
Yes. You seemed a little surprised when I said, when you came into the segment of the studio, that I actually have watched you several times. I can't say last weekend, but many weekends before that.
Okay.
And you're doing a fine job. Yeah, man, absolutely. Good to have you here with us. We also have, traveling all the way from Ghana, Apostle Dr. Obed Duku. Did I get the pronunciation right, Apostle?
Perfect.
All right.
For a second, I thought you were Ghanaian. The diction was so excellent.
Thank you very much. But we were talking off the air about the similarities. There are so many similarities between our two countries, man.
Yes, I tell you, the food, the people.
Yes.
The craziness in the atmosphere. Listen, when we were driving yesterday and I saw the cars crossing each other, I'm like, whoa, this looks like Accra.
Oh my goodness.
That's how we drive,
Yeah, but it's a good vibe and a good connection always between Ghana and Jamaica.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, man. You are described as a prolific man of God who embarked on the call of ministry at a very delicate age. Does that mean a young age?
Very young.
Yes.
About 8, 9.
Wow.
Very young.
That is when you started your walk with the Almighty.
Yes, actually, Well, I was born into the church, and my father is a pastor.
Oh.
And so, I'm a pastor's boy. Yes, and a church mouse. Not by virtue of the fact that my father is a pastor, but it's also because I know that God brought me into this world for a special assignment. And so right from the beginning, I've always known what I would become, even though at a point in time I thought I could switch. Because growing up to see my father, and then most of the things that how pastors sometimes are treated, and all that, I'm like, nah, I can't be a rich man doing this. So nah, that's not the kind of life I want. Yes, but God has been faithful.
You were called to this, and so you couldn't
Called
escape
to
that call.
I couldn't. I tried everything possible, but I couldn't.
Yes.
The passion was there. It stood out. I lived in Italy for 16 years.
Wow.
School there, was raised up there. Well, actually born in Ghana, but came to Italy when I was about 14 years. And so, by God's grace, I was saying something yesterday. I think in back somewhere in US, that we don't do what we do because we don't have any option. We are not one of those men of God that think preaching is the easy way out, or being a prophet of God or an apostle of God is the easy way out, because that's the perception out there.
Right.
That most pastors and prophets and apostles are out there just because of the money. And but even if that was the case, talking is another thing altogether. Not everybody can do what you do.
Right.
And so if you are rewarded for what you do, people need to understand that and appreciate. But that is not even what it is for us. In our case, it's completely different. In fact, even before I entered into ministry full time, I was doing very well. And if anybody's watching from from Italy, they know me. And people in Ghana, they know me. I was about 21 years organizing big events, flying in, men and women of God from Ghana.
Okay.
And I was doing well as a legal consultant. I had my own office in Italy. And, people's issue with documentations and all of that. Somebody sits in front of you 30 minutes and you are taking some big money, which you wouldn't get from preaching.
Right.
You understand? And so we are not doing this because of the money. Then we would have been doing what we used to do. But it's a calling, and you can't escape it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, I don't know to what extent you know about the past of Apostle Professor Andrew Scott. $1 Million Round Table is something that is familiar to me. Does that mean that, like myself, you were also in the life insurance industry?
That's right.
Love that.
I used to be at Crown Eagle Life.
Okay.
Insurance.
Jesus.
And so on. That was one of the things that had to shape you.
Yes.
How to strategize and to go out there and make things happen, or you don't eat.
Absolutely.
Yes.
At the time, I might have been at American Life Insurance Company.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
so we do have that in common.
Yeah.
But then you decided to go full-time into ministry.
Yes.
And you're doing a fantastic job, I must admit. I like to watch your program. Very inspiring, very very energetic kind of ministry that connects you with your audience very, very well. And I'm sure that you get those kinds of comments quite often in your daily life.
Oh, yes. Bless God for that. You see, as I said, when God calls you, it is a different thing. You have some men of God who might be doing ministry because they see it as, this is what I need to do. But when God calls you, it's totally different.
Thing. Yeah.
Because we were all out there doing our own thing, heading after life, trying to be that perfect agent, running after business. But then when you have an encounter with God, then you realize that it's about impacting lives and people. And so that's my passion, to transform and to impact lives. And with what God has given us, then we would have said, okay, we thank God if we're able to change a life, impact a life, make a home better, make a child better, make a marriage better, and make a community better. And so that's our aim.
Now, you have a guest here, Dr. Obed Duku, and I think it's for a reason, because I get the feeling that there is it a conference or a convention? What is going on? Give us some details, Apostle Scott.
Well, we're having a prophetic conference at this time. What we try to do is, from time to time, we bring men of God in to help to impact the community and the nation at large. So one, we pray for the sick. We allow God to use us to impact the lives of other persons in different ways. So you might have persons who may come along and they're going through things and they don't understand why. You have some people who are carrying some, what you call it, we would call it your bad luck. Something not right. You're trying and not happening. And we're here to establish God's purpose and to break shackles from lives. And as we said, to impact lives in a special way. So it's an opportunity at this conference for folks to come and to get a word from God and to get ministry from God. And the apostle is here. We're joining forces with his grace anointing on his life to add a little more flavor to what we do to impact more people. And we're believing God.
Petrokeen Williams, who is in the studio here with us, was telling me off the air that you had a great start. Was it last night?
Yesterday. So we started yesterday at 10 o'clock. It was awesome. We had over 1,000, probably 1,500 persons there.
Wow.
Plus an audience online on gwifja.com, Facebook Live and YouTube Live, because we stream our services. So it has been great. We have 4 days of this conference. We continue until May 4th, Thursday, but our nightly services start at 6 p.m. And I want you to come out one night, Richie B. You have to be there.
Thanks for the invitation. Oddly, you're invited too, you see.
Everyone is invited. We want you to bring your aunt, bring your uncle, bring your neighbor, bring a friend. Something major is happening. Apostle Duku is a mighty man of God. He's an accurate prophet, a man who operates with compassion and understands how to impact lives in a meaningful way. Persons are being healed. Yesterday, there were persons who had like a stroke and were being prayed for. Persons who have issues. And in this time and season, especially post-COVID, people have issues. People want answers. So we invite you to come to Greater Works International Fellowship. We're at 2 Potosi Avenue. That's at Pembroke Hall Primary School Auditorium. So come on out tonight, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, 6 p.m. We want to see you. We have made accommodation for you, and I'm looking forward to see you. Let me know which night.
All right. Thank you very much. So is it beyond your expectation in terms of how it started, Professor Scott?
Well, it has been great.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And we thank God for the apostle. As I said, we join in forces, and it is just a great thing to see people coming in a space, being sick, and walking out free. Some things that they have never done in 15, 20 years, and just walk out without their cane, without whatever they came with. People who had issues in their body, right on spot, total miracle on spot. And that is what makes us filled with joy when people can walk into a building one way and leave another way. We bless God.
Dr. Duku.
Yes, sir.
What degree of satisfaction does it give you when souls are won for Christ, and also when you are used as a vessel by the Almighty to perform and to administer this level of healing that you're well known for?
It is a joy. You see, in life, success is not measured by what you have materially. Success is measured by the impact you can make on other people's lives. And so for me, when the Lord uses us to do what we do, it gives us a great joy of satisfaction for us first. Right. Let me be very blunt, because you see, God could have chosen anybody. God can use you to do it. And sometimes I demonstrate this even in ministering. I can call somebody from the audience and tell the person, touch this person. And then, as I speak and I declare, the healing is coming, is working, but it's not me touching the person. Just so we can demonstrate that the power of God can move through anybody at all. All you got to do is to be available for God. And so it gives us a great joy. And I also know that heaven is joyful and God is pleased, because the will of God is to see people prosper And when I talk of prosperity, I'm not just talking about material things, but prosperity in every area of your life, emotionally, psychologically. People are going through things. I've dealt with people that tell me, man of God, thank God for you. I contemplated suicide. I was in Savannah, Georgia a couple of weeks ago, and there was a lady in the service, kept crying throughout the service, and I was just preaching, going about, doing what I'm doing. So just a few minutes to the close of the service, I called her out, and the Holy Spirit began to minister to me concerning, and I said that as I'm talking to you now, right now, there is a robe in your house, and this is what you sought to do last night, but something came on you so strong, and you don't even know how you found yourself here, but this is what God is saying to me.
Wow.
As I'm telling you today, the lady that was homeless for over 4 years, mind you, 4 years in United States, and people think out there is so juicy and then everybody, but 4 years in the United States looking for a job. Just 3 days ago, she had a testimony, and God has fixed her and sorted her.
Wow.
The Bible says that I wish above all things that we will prosper and be in good health, even as the soul prospereth. And Apostle said something very profound, that I have come here not as the powerful man, no, I've come here to actually introduce to those that do not know the powerful man above. It's not about us, but it's about what God is doing in this season. So anybody that I see God in, I relate to the person as family, because we belong to one family. And so it is a joy. We've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this for many, many years, but there is never a miracle that God does that doesn't blow my mind off.
Wow.
Because I keep seeing it in different dimensions. Like they said, somebody came in yesterday, was having a walking stick, and then boom, the person is walking. And I've seen it before many times. It's happened back in the United States. God has been gracious to using us at certain dimensions, talking about details of people, somebody's inner closet prayer, what you are saying in your bedroom, and God is telling me to tell you this, what kind of prayer you were praying yesterday, and God is saying A, B, C, D. These are not information available on Facebook, because I know people think that everything out there is on Instagram, Sistergram, Brothergram, and all the grams we have. But there are things that we are touching on from the realm of God, and not from the realms of the spirit per se, because in the realm of God, things there are secret, they are coded. It is only a true man of God that can access that information and tell you what God is saying.
Listen, it's really, really wonderful having you all here today. We're out of time. Unfortunately, I have to do my overseas connection to New York, but I want to welcome you to Jamaica.
Thank you.
You have said enough to invite to make me feel that I should come out as well.
Thank you.
And also support our Jamaican Professor Scott. I wish you well with this conference.
Thank you.
And I hope it goes very well. It's a Potosi Avenue.
Right, Greater Works International.
Greater Works International Fellowship, and you call it GWIF? GWIF, all right. And it starts at
PM nightly.
6 o'clock in the evening, and goes until about, say, maybe about 10 o'clock or so, thereabouts. Yes. All right. Well, listen, I hope it goes very, very well, and I hope that many souls will be won for the Lord, and blessings on your lives. Thank you so much for dropping by this morning.
And thank you for having us.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Any second now, I suspect, we're going to be hearing DJ Roy in the studios of Irie Jam Radio, joining us here on the Bridge 99 FM. We're broadcasting across Jamaica on 99.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9 on the FM band. Remember, we're streaming around the world as well at www.thebridge99fm.com. And I'm going to say hello to the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And he's ready. Good morning, DJ Roy.
DJ Roy on Irie Jam.
Irie Jam, indeed. We're getting ready to make that connection.
The connection is on.
Oh, the connection is on.
The connection is on. Morning, sir. How you doing, my brother?
Doing fine, man. I can't complain. A beautiful day on the outside. We're coming through 3 days of non-stop rain, and we needed it anyway. So I'm not complaining. The grass looked greener.
Yeah.
But it was really bad for pen relays. Cold weather, and of course rain. Friday was probably a washout. Saturday it rained for most of the day, but our athletes still made us proud as always.
Oh yes, oh yes. We're really, really proud of the achievements of the Jamaican teams that are represented at the Pen Relays, and we can't forget to big up Team Jamaica Bickle.
Yes, man.
For all the work that they continue to do with the athletes, man. Trust me. Big ups Erwin Clare and the rest of the crew there.
Indeed. And making sure our athletes were warm and well fed.
Yeah, very important. No wonder they did so well as usual.
As usual.
In so many different races, we got good, excellent results, and the traditions have been maintained of our good showing at the Penn Relays. A lot of our colleagues, and not just our colleagues here at the bridge, but many others turned up and were at the National Arena and the Indoor Sports Center for the big Expo 2023.
Yes.
And that was also a massive success, coming back after a break for several years. So, the Bridge 99 FM was there in full effect, and a lot of people are still talking about our presence there, DJ Roy.
Yeah, we actually did one of the connections where they were live from the National Stadium and National Arena, I guess.
Yeah.
And the turnout looked very good. And I say, just back from COVID, we have to really give thanks. And there's a lot of work to be done, but at least the work is being done.
Mm-hmm. Over the next couple of days, we'll be hearing, no doubt, about some of the major quote-unquote deals that would have been struck, and I know that a lot of manufacturers and so on made their presence felt. Their booths went down very well. People are talking about it, and we hope that the country and the economy will benefit in a big way post Expo.
Yeah, and they use the facilities and the connections of Bridge 99 FM to get their products out there and their services. So. Yeah, it's a good look.
Not just to Jamaica, but to the entire world, especially in the Jamaican diaspora. It's a good look indeed. So it's 22 minutes on the downside of 9 o'clock, and we're inside of the Global Connection. My name is Richie B. DJ Roy's in the studios of Irie Jam Radio in New York City. We're being heard all across New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And as usual, one of the biggies in this segment is the kind of mix and music and premieres and all of that kind of stuff that DJ Roy is usually armed with. I don't know what his plans are for this morning, but I'll wait and see.
Oh, man. well, here's what I wanted to say, too. Over the weekend, I was in Brooklyn for a function, a 50th celebration for Sir Tommy and Sounds Jr., and it was a vinyl affair. No laptops allowed in the building. They said, if you come with your laptop, security, I'll take it away. And what was amazing also, they really took it back because they had 4 turntables, but only one was working.
Oh.
So now we had to play our vinyls, flip over the other side. You have 3 record up on one turntable playing. I mean, it was really, really an amazing event. Finally, we got another turntable working.
Okay.
But, hats off to Sir Tommy and Sounds Jr. Mikey Jarrett also got awards and proclamations.
Oh, great.
And Jalife also got awards and proclamations.
Jalife?
Sanitation. Yeah, Jalife also got awards. So it was an amazing event. So I'm just going to play some of my songs that I played on vinyl, but I'm using my laptop today.
Oh, okay. No worries. Let's listen.
So I'm going across the pond with it.
Okay, knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Take that with you today. Make it a great day. Bridge Nation, we love you. Thanks for spending the morning with us. And please be with us tomorrow morning at 6 in the eye. We'll do it all over again. Thank you once again, Kevin. Thank you, DJ Audley. And most of all to the Bridge Nation here in Jamaica and around the world for tuning in all morning long.